If you're in the market for a brand new car, electric or petrol, in 2023, then here are the cars you shouldn't choose. No, not the MX-5.
Wow.
Yes, these brand new cars here. I've selected 6 new cars you should avoid if you want a bit more power. Not to say these cars are bad, quite the contrary, these are really good cars, but they won't be as fast as you expect from the production line. So without further ado, with sources from the auto magazines, hope you enjoyed the video. To kick off, we're going to America, and it's the Ford Bronco, a car that everyone really has been raving about for the last year. It's been an amazing comeback from the automotive world, and everyone loves American cars. They're usually very powerful and pretty fast for the most part, but just can't go around corners. And I have to say, I love the design of the new Ford Bronco. I think it looks excellent, really harping back to the old Bronco, as you can see here. Well, unfortunately, the Ford Bronco for 2021 is not so fast. It has a 0 to 60 time of 9.2 seconds and will do a quarter mile in 16.8. And with its only 181 horsepower from its base model 1.5 turbocharged engine, it's not really enough to give it enough power. Some go up to 2 litres, of course, with Badland spec at present, but it's just not quick enough for what is traditionally a lot of SUVs or big cars or pickups that are going to be in America that are competing with this thing. However, this does win style points. I definitely would have it. Ah yes, a car that everyone might actually buy. It's the new Honda Civic, specifically the Sport. When you think of Honda, you think of these cars, either slow or fast. Well, with the new Honda Civic Sport, that unfortunately is not the case. Even though it has sport in the title, this car is nothing but sporty or fast. Now yes, it does have a lovely little engine, 1.5 litre turbo inline 4. That is actually not too bad, really, for the car. It's just when it comes to its competitors, and really when it's on the road, even the Mugen and Type R will be so much faster than any standard Civic. In fact, you'll probably be held up at the lights quite a lot by this car because it's just not fast enough with its torque. It needs to make up for it with its torque, and that 2 litre engine often provides no more than 158 horsepower. Number 3 provides us a car that has not learnt its lesson despite being out for a number of years and still on sale. You'd think with Toyota making GR Yaris's and GR Supers and pretty much GR everything, including the 86, it seems like they might even make a GR CHR, but that wouldn't really go well, would it? Well, with the CHR, it has been a little bit of a well-known flop for power, but people still love to mod them. And Toyota seem to claim that it's a very modifiable car and one of the fastest crossovers in the world. Well, if you were to actually buy a brand new one, you would be much more disappointed because it's only a 1.8 litre CVT, which actually isn't too bad in size, but that takes a very long time to get 60. That is actually about 11 seconds. Yes, it's very modern, it's got a very reliable little engine under there, and 184 horsepower for some of the faster models, but it's still a bit of a slouch, and it's not really the crossover anyone wanted. You were probably expecting a Super Mini to be on here, and of course the Renault Clio did make it on this list, and it's a car I like. The fact that they left Formula 1 several years ago unfortunately has not helped this, and they sort of went in a downward spiral with their cars since. Yes, they made some really good RS models, and I love a RS model, a Renault, great car, but they did get fatter, so it's probably no surprise that the Renault Clio in the latest line of production models is one of the slowest Super Minis out there. It's actually probably a superb alternative to the Fiesta or Polo, and it's got eye-catching design, but it's very slow in typical French fashion. And even with the e-car that's coming out soon, as released here, it's just not fast enough. With that eco-hybrid-friendly engine, they aren't really noteworthy, and with a mix of Dacia and Renault, they seem to be making slower cars. Now, hopefully this will change with some of the RS models. That remains to be seen, but I do love a Clio, so it'd be good to see a little hot hatchback that's fast, and I really like Renault, so let's hope they do make something a little bit faster for us. Electric cars are meant to be slow at depreciating, not necessarily slow, unlike the Ioniq, which is not so fast in the range of electric cars when it comes to speed and acceleration. It was actually ranked one of the slowest cars, as you can see Tesla up at the top. The Ioniq, not to be confused with the Ioniq 5, is one of the slowest electric cars you can buy on the market. That doesn't mean it's necessarily a slouch, but it is the slowest, and with a time of 0 to 62 in 9.7 seconds and only 138 horsepower, it's pretty slow and dreary for most people. and that's probably why it's a good taxi. A lot of people buy it because it's the cheapest model of the electric cars, and therefore less has been put into it. So unfortunately, if you are looking for an electric car, this is probably one I would avoid. And not only that, you're going to look like a taxi driver as well. So it does have reviews saying that you probably want a bit more of it to fit in the lifestyle that you're going to live. And the Ioniq is just not that car. It's going to sit really with the Toyota Prius as going down a very big taxi car. Yes, it's another Super Mini, but it is one of the most popular selling cars in Europe at least, and it's the Volkswagen Polo, the brand new 2022 model. I actually quite like the styling of the Polo. It's like a mini Golf, and actually it's less aggressive. But with its 79 horsepower, non-turbo petrol engine, not electric, it is only 15.4 seconds to 62, which...
No! God, please, no!
...means it will really struggle to keep up. And you can just tell a lot of first-time drivers are going to go and try and race you in this thing, and it'll just end up terrible because they won't have the power to get anywhere. It is the most affordable way into the Polo ownership at its most base model, but it's just not really a great power and speed for most people. But that's fine. You're going to buy this car to go around the city. You're going to buy this car for first car. And actually, it looks very stylish, and Volkswagen have done a very good job. So you decide on that one. Hope you've enjoyed this Cars with Ben video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like car content.